Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song Supremacy by Fever333. This song comes as a request from one of my viewers. So, as always, if you would like to request something, just leave it in the comments and I'll be sure to add it to my list. I've heard one song, just one song by Fever333 before, and it's the song Made in America. I heard it on Spotify. I was just, I have it set on Spotify to where, like, once my playlist runs out, it just starts playing other stuff that you might like. And so one day I was just listening to Spotify, and this one came up on one of those playlists, and it was just like, oh, I like this, I'm gonna add it. And then I just haven't come back to this band at all. Very typical of me, to be honest. So but I'm glad to actually get to approach this band once again. I only know one song by them, and I like it a lot, so I'm hoping that I like this one too. With that, let's get to it. So I have a little bit of taste of what their style is like. I'm not going in totally blind, but just mostly, I guess. All right, let's do it.
Born into a world where we're trying to be free, but we're living underneath their supremacy.
Yeah. See, I was raised in the West, where we stay stressed, where they lie and they have to making a rest, cause we living in the shadow of the suburb, while the price of this house going upwards. I don't understand how the poor getting robbed by the rich, and they calling it a handout. And it's evident the neighborhood fucked up, gotta send a letter to the president. Tell me, can you hear us through the sound of the sirens? And you wonder why the streets getting violent. Another mother shed tears at the cemetery, burying a firstborn child. I've been watching through the years, got my nerves firing, waking up screaming, let me live in a cold sweat. Segregated, they consider us a known threat, so we hopeless. Hey, born into a world where we're dying to be free, but we're living underneath their supremacy. One day you'll see us, but until then we'll all sit and wait for the rapture. Ain't no more waiting. They tryna relegate my DNA, break it down into something easier to hate. They afraid of the outcome, cause the race that they call human keep evolving, and they know they will get outrun. That's why, Still behind on the times, yeah. Protest culture on strike like lightning, losing hold of control, so we rising. Put the muscle on, but we won't stay silent. Born into a world where we're dying to be free, but we're living underneath their supremacy. One day you'll see us, but until then we'll all sit and wait for the rapture. When time turns into history, the story that we tell will be when we were marching for our lives, you stood on the other side. When time turns into history, the story that we tell will be when we were marching for our lives, you stood on the other side. When time turns into history, the story that we tell will be when we were marching for our lives, you stood on the other side.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. Quick, short and sweet, high energy, fast paced. Definitely what I was feeling today. So I think this one was awesome. I think it'll be better served if we just kind of break it down like we always do, starting with the lyrics. I'm saying this was produced by Travis Barker. Isn't he the drummer of I want to say Blink 182, and then maybe also the Aquabats when he was younger? I forget. Let me click on him. Or am I thinking of someone else? No, that's the guy I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure. An American musician, producer, businessman, tattoo enthusiast, and drummer extraordinaire, best known for his involvement in punk band pop punk Goliath, Blink 182. I got it. Compelled to constantly stay busy, Barker has taken on many music projects, often simultaneously, and even founded his own record label, DTA Records. Okay. Travis's musical acts and his time with them. The Aquabats, I was right. Only for a year, 1997 to 1998, but still. Blink-182, Boxcar Racer, Transplants, Plus 44. I've heard one song from Plus 44 before. Expensive Taste, and then Travis DJ, something like that. Additionally, he released a collaborative album with Yellow Wolf. Yeah, I won't read all about Travis Barker. I just saw that he produced this one, and I just recognized his name. Nick Furlong looks familiar too, but I won't go through all that. Anyway, let's see. Supremacy is the first single from the Wrong Generation EP by Fever 333. It was initially released on June 1st as a free download on the band's website, but it was taken down and given a proper release on June 8th. A lyric video for Supremacy was released on Fever 333's YouTube channel on June 19th. I actually just watched that, so that's what I was watching, was the lyric video, which to me goes really well with the lyrics, and I think really sort of points out what they were getting at with this song. So let's take a look at those lyrics. Let's see. Born into a world where we're dying to be free, but we're living underneath their supremacy. I wonder what Genius has to say about this. Based on the song Step Into a World, Rapture's Delight by KRS-One. Step into a world where there's no one left but the very best, no MC can test. That song's basic melody was taken from the first song to hit #1 with rap in it. Rapture by Blondie. Okay. I'm going to listen to all these songs. So was it KRS-One sort of sampling Blondie, and then Fever 333 sampling, or at least taking lyrics from KRS-One? I'll have to go back and do some research, I guess. Yeah. See, I was raised in the West, where we stay stressed, where they lie if they have to make an arrest, to make an arrest, because we living in the shadow of the suburbs, while the price of this house going upwards. I don't understand how the poor get robbed by the rich, and they're calling it a handout. Oh, hell no. And it's evident the neighborhood fucked up. Got us sending letters to the president. Tell me, can you hear us through the sound of the sirens? So very clearly mentions of gentrification here, right? Living in the shadow of the suburbs, while the price of this house going upwards. And then I think this line is super relevant. I mean, again, I saw this came out in 2020, July of 2020, right? And normal people having to beg for stimulus while the rich are getting richer during the pandemic it was an awful sight to see. So, like I said, the poor getting robbed by the rich, and then calling it a handout. It's amazing. And it's evident the neighborhood fucked up, got us sending letters to the president. Tell me, can you hear us through the sound of the sirens? And then, of course, the big issue here is over-policing of poor neighborhoods, police brutality. You have your whole Black Lives Matter movement, which was kind of showcased in the official lyric video that I just watched. So, yeah, I mean, 2020 was a shit show, my guys. 2020 is shaping up to be a little better, but obviously, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. But yeah, I think they really captured sort of that feeling. And I think getting to watch the lyric video along with listening to the song here, I think really did a lot of justice to the song. So I'm glad glad that just happened to be the one I clicked on. I'm glad that it worked out that way. And you wonder why the street's getting violent. Another mother shed tears at the cemetery burying her firstborn child. Damn. I've been watching through the years, got my nerves firing, waking up screaming, and we live in a cold sweat. Yeah, I mean, this line right here, I've been watching through the years. I was on Facebook the other day. I like to look at my memories on Facebook, and I had made a post about like almost 10 years ago about police violence and et cetera, and I was just like, damn, we really been dealing with this for that long, and obviously more than just 10 years ago. Obviously, I mean, this goes back decades, generations, but just as someone who's only 30 and 10 years ago I was 20, only just kind of first becoming an adult and understanding, kind of sort of starting to be on my own, that kind of thing. It was just like, damn, can't believe all this is happening, that sort of thing. So it just weird to me to think, wow, I was talking about this 10 years ago, and here we are still talking about the same thing. So I really felt that line, right? Been watching all these years. Been watching through the years. Got my nerves firing, waking up screaming, and we live in a cold sweat. Segregated, they consider us a known threat, so we hopeless. Born into a world where we're dying to be free. I just want to be free. Let's go. But we're living underneath their supremacy, we ain't out from their supremacy. One day you'll see us, but until then, we'll all sit and wait for the rapture. Ain't no more waiting. They trying to relegate my DNA. Nah, break it down into something easier to hate. So I think obviously the song is called Supremacy, so I'm thinking that it's a song about white supremacy and its negative effects on our society. Things like gentrification, things like police profiling, police brutality. But right here, they're trying to relegate my DNA, break it down into something easier to hate. So the tried and true racist tactic of just saying, like, these people are different. Their DNA is different. Their makeup is different, their genetic makeup, I should say. And so we must hate them, that kind of thing, They're afraid of the outcome because the race that they call human keep evolving, and they know they will get outrun. So at the end of the day, we are becoming more and more progressive. And eventually all those racist ideas will die out, hopefully. It's not going to be today, it's not going to be tomorrow, but hopefully eventually we can get those racist ideas out of here. That's why, it's still behind on the times. Yeah, protest culture on strike like lightning, damn. Losing hold and control, so we rise and put the muzzle on, but we won't stay silent. Born into a world where we're dying to be free. I just want to be free. Let's go. But we're living underneath what we under their supremacy. Under their supremacy. One day you'll see us, but until then, we'll all sit and wait for the rapture. What are you waiting for? When time turns into history, the story that we'll tell will be when we were marching for our lives. You stood on the other side. So right here, this part, like this last part, when time turns into history, the story we'll tell will be last year, back in 2020, it was like the first time, I think, maybe not the first time, I think actually 9/11 might have been the first time, and I was only 10 when 9/11 went down, but it was the first time, one of the first times, I guess, one of the only times, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but basically it felt like, wow, this is going to be history, this is what they're going to talk about during history class in 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? This is what is going to make history. So 9/11, I think, was the first time I ever felt that way. But then 2020 was also, it felt like the whole year I just had that feeling where it's pandemic. Yeah, a huge issue. Obviously, that's going to make the history books. But also, you really saw an uptick in protesting and Black Lives Matter movement and everything like that. And just wow, this, we are living in history, and it almost feels like that's how they must have felt during the civil rights movement, the bus boycotts. It was wow, this is we are living in historic times, so it's wild, 2020 was a wild year. Anyway, when time turns into history, and that line captures that perfectly. Right now, it's just time. It's just what we're going through. But eventually, it will be history. It will be the past, and we'll look back on it, and the story will be that some people were out there marching for their lives, marching for justice, or what have you. And the other side just stood and watched, or at the worst, antagonized. So. I think this song really had its finger on the pulse, really kind of captured that 2020 feeling. I don't know if they were really going for that, but it definitely seems like they were, especially with the lyric videos. So, lyrically, very poignant, very relevant. I think it's pretty well written as well. A few lines in there I was like, okay, that was pretty neat, that was pretty cool. Really captured the spirit of what was happening. So, lyrically, I give it 2 thumbs up. Instrumentally, vocally, I gotta say there were a couple times in there where I heard a little Chester Bennington, you know what I mean? Just in the vocal delivery, I like they really bring what I like about someone like Grandson, or even a little bit of Rage Against the Machine here and there. They really kind of capture that same feeling that I look for when I listen to artists like that. I'm looking for that sort of protest culture, those protest lyrics. I'm looking for that sort of rebellious, we're fuck the system type stuff. So I think they really captured that here in the vocal delivery with sort of their hip-hop rock mixture, and of course in the lyrics. They really brought what I like from those bands: a nice beat, some good music. I really didn't pay too much attention to the instrumentation. I was really focused on the vocal delivery and the lyrics, but I think the best thing I could say about the instrumentation is that it wasn't so distracting that it was bad, but it also wasn't interesting enough for me to go oh wow, let me stop listening to what he's saying for a minute to really capture the instrumentation. So I thought it was fine. I think it served the song well. I give it all. I'll give it a thumb up. Yeah, I thought it was a good song. Vocal delivery was good. Instrumentation was good enough to really boost up the song overall. Just a good song. It was a nice listen. And then as far as replay value goes, I think this one belongs on the playlist. It's got interesting lyrics. Again, the instrumentation is fine. The vocal delivery, I think, is really good. It really captures, like I said, a lot of what I want to get from an artist like Grandson. An artist like Rage Against the Machine, even a little bit of Linkin Park here and there. It's sort of that hybrid of hip hop and rock that I it still has its place here and there. So I liked it. I had a good time listening to it, and I'm actually excited to listen to a little bit more from this band. So if you guys have any more recommendations, let me know. Replay value, 2 thumbs up. It's gonna go on the playlist. I think it's gonna have some plays on there. So yeah, thank you so much for whoever requested this one. As always, if you want to be that person and request something, just leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it, or at least add it to my list. No promises. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, of course, go support the artist. Go listen to their music wherever you can. One place you should be able to find the song is going to be in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below. Has every single song I've heard so far on my channel, as long as it's available on Spotify, of course. And if you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment. Alright guys, that's going to be it from me. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.